Applied to 500 jobs this year and not heard back from any of them.
We have some pretty horrible economic news. United States layoffs are now surging to their highest point since the pandemic.
The big companies are the first wave, the medium companies are the second wave, and smaller companies are the third wave.
I worked for this company for 4 years. This just came out of nowhere.
So all over the United States, there have been mass layoffs all 2025. But the harsh truth is it's only going to get worse in 2026. This video is not political at all, but between things such as AI, shipping jobs overseas, H-1B visa holders, immigrants, all that stuff, and just the fact that they'd rather have one person do the job of 5 people but only pay them one person's worth of money, it's just hard to find a job when you get one. It's hard to, keep it. And even if you do keep it, you're more than likely doing way more than one person's job and only getting paid to do one person's job when you're really doing 4 or 5. But go ahead and enjoy some of these clips, and we're going to break it down as we go through.
I hate when people tell me, you need to get a job. I'm trying to get a job. I can't see me get a job nowhere. You going to give me a job? You going to offer me a job? You think I want to wake up every day broke and not have nothing to do with my life? No, I can't find a job to save my life. Well, unless you're going to offer me a job, shut your mouth and mind your business.
So what do you unemployed people do with your lives? I'm officially part of the unemployment crew, and I do not know what to do with myself. I can only wash so many dishes. I can only wash so many clothes. I can only go to the gym so many times. I can only scroll on TikTok and watch TV for so much. What do you guys do with your lives? And some of you guys' full-time jobs is being unemployed. So what do you guys do? Can someone please make a day in the life of being unemployed? Because I don't know what to do with myself. I need some structure, some discipline. I need a routine. Yes, I'm going to wake up, go to the gym and do things I need to do to get done towards my day, but what else is there to do when you're unemployed? I'm really driving myself crazy. I've never had this much time on my hands in my life. I don't know what to do. I'm driving myself crazy. It's been a week. I got fired 2 days ago, but I was on suspension for a week. What do? I don't know what to do with myself now. I have too much time on my hands. I need to get back in action ASAP because I can't keep sitting at home all day looking at the walls. I can't go out and spend money because there's no money coming in. So someone please tell me what you guys do with your lives when you're unemployed. That's all I got for y'all today. I'll see y'all in the next one.
Can't be the only person who feels like this. So I'm 30 years old. I'm unemployed. I've been unemployed for 4 months. I literally can't get a job. I've applied to over 150 jobs. I now have negative $4.41 in my savings account because of the monthly service fee that just hit. I don't know when I'm going to get a job. I feel very lost. This feeling of being unemployed and applying to jobs and retailing your resume, getting rejected, and then seeing the job reposted literally 2 weeks later is demoralizing. And remembering that I am still worthy and I am still valuable has been very difficult. I left my last job because it was destroying my mental and physical health. I liked the job, but I just couldn't do it anymore. And so I applied to a new job, and I was going to make the most money I was ever supposed to make in my life. And they laid me off 4 days before I was supposed to start due to company reorganization. And I haven't been able to find a job since. I don't have a Roth IRA. I don't have any type of investment accounts. I don't know if I'll ever own a house. I am married, but we're both children, to be quite honest with you. I live in an apartment that we can no longer afford because I lost my job, moved down here for the job that laid me off 4 days before I was supposed to start. So when you sign a lease, you just can't get out of it like that. That's not how that works.
Hi, everybody. I just want to come on here and say that if I get one more email saying that they're going to go ahead and move forward with other candidates that more closely align with their goals, because I just graduated college. I'm applying for entry-level positions. Why do I need 3 to 5 years of experience? If I didn't align with your goals or didn't like your company, I wouldn't have applied.
I'm about to lose it. This weekend I applied for 21 jobs. 21 jobs. I'm unemployed, okay? I've applied for corporate things, remote things not around me, and even minimum wage things because I need some income coming in right now, locally. The 2 jobs that I've heard back from so far, one of them I was declined from. Guess which one I was declined from already? Foods.
We also have to think about, in a country like America, your life depends on your job. Your social status depends on your job. Whether or not you can eat, rent, all that depends on your job. And all these other countries, where you work 20 hours a week, for example, where I'm going to Vietnam, a work week is 25 hours, 20 to 25 hours, not 40. In America, you work a 40-hour week, you still can't survive. You have no social status. And then when you get fired, you lose everything you had. Your life depends on your job. And that's a sad position to be in when mass layoffs are taking over the world. And if you do agree with some of these things I'm saying, this channel really is about breaking down the struggles of your average everyday American. And if that's something you really enjoy, go ahead and subscribe. We're almost at monetization levels. I've been doing really good lately thanks to y'all. So I appreciate all the help, and let's keep going through some of these clips.
I have been unemployed for 4 months now, and I get this question asked pretty often, even in my personal life. How do I continue to live my life comfortably without any income? For some background info, I was working a 9-to-5 corporate job. I got laid off back in October, and it is now January, almost February 2025, and I've applied to so many jobs, and I still don't have one. No, my parents are not helping me or any family is helping me. I'm totally single as well, so no partner helping me. Basically, so when I got laid off, I did get 6 weeks of severance, so I was still getting paid normally for like a month and a half. And then also I did get a really quick, like 3-week temporary job. I was working at the mall in retail, and that did help quite a lot because I was working almost 40 hours a week, just taking so many people's shifts, even though it was a part-time job. I made about like $1,000 working in retail for that short amount of time, and that did really help a lot with like paying for my rent and my car and any other bills that I have. But aside from the severance from my company and that quick little retail job, I do have a good amount of savings just from so many jobs that I've worked over the years since I was like 17, 18. I've always been able to save and always made sure that I could, take a certain percentage out of my paycheck and save some money. I also did cut out quite a few expenses, so I canceled a whole bunch of subscriptions. I had like Hulu, HBO, I had a ClassPass subscription, all that I had to cancel. And when it came to like going out, my friends and I like to go out and have drinks on the weekends and get food. I had to do way less of that. So I'd still go out with them and look cute, but I just drink water. Water. And I still had a great time. It's really not that big of a deal. And then of course I had to stop ordering takeout for myself. So just cooking a lot at home and less shopping, less coffees, less matchas, less cocktails. And yeah, that's basically what I did. And then all of January, I was in the Philippines with my family, and I literally just got back like a couple days ago. And I am back to trying to find another job. The hunt is on. It is still rough out here in the job market. Well, it's rough out here really in the whole United States, unfortunately. But yes, if you guys have any other questions, please let me know.
I've been unemployed for 1 month now, and I'm really trying to not crash out at this point. I spent a good hour, crafting the most beautiful cover letter for this job that I 100% was qualified for, actually overqualified, just to get a rejection email in 1 hour. I'm just trying to stay positive and not crash the fuck out.
Please stop telling unemployed people to stay positive. Please stop telling unemployed people to just keep moving forward. What are we supposed to do with that? I'm positive that my bills are not paid. I'm positive that I need some consistent income. I'm trying to move forward, right? but the rejection is just seemingly never ending. And that's not saying I'm not getting interviews, because I definitely am, but you go through 2-3 rounds of interviews, phone screens, remote interviews, then you get called in person to still not get the job. And it's like, what the hell? Just keep moving forward. Moving forward would be a job offer. That's moving forward. What is moving forward when you're constantly in this seemingly never-ending cycle of madness? Don't tell me to just keep moving forward. You should just keep your mouth shut. Please and thank you.
I don't think most people realize how dehumanizing it is to be unemployed in the current job market, especially if the reason that you don't have a job is not necessarily your fault. If you've never thought about it before, every single aspect of your life is tied to your job. Your ability to go out with your friends, have dinner, see a movie, tied to your job. Your ability to have healthcare and see your doctor, tied to your job. Your ability to go to therapy, tied to your job. Your ability to do literally anything that costs money, tied to your job. So then when your job is taken away and you no longer have a source of income, it's horrible. You have people out here who just went to college or maybe have been out of college for a year. They thought they did what you're supposed to do. They tell you, oh, if you go to college, you're going to be able to get a career. You're going to find a job super easily. And these people have been out of college for a year and they can't find a job. And then you have people like me who have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree and got their first job back in 2013. And I can't find a job. I don't know what happened and when it switched, but I used to get every single job that I applied for. Okay, I was always the person at my jobs who trained the new employees, and now I can't find a job. I went from having a manager who would buy me cupcakes and a director who would send me Christmas presents to that manager then being replaced by the Wicked Witch of the West. And because of her, I no longer have a job. And I have been searching and searching for months. I've applied to more jobs than I have ever applied to in my entire life, and I can't find anything because there are more fake jobs on LinkedIn than there are real jobs. So before you ask that unemployed person in your life why they haven't found a job yet, maybe consider that we are trying. We're trying. But the job market is different. And unless you have been there and you have experienced how hard it is to find a job right now, you need to stop asking me why I haven't found a job, because I'm losing my mind.
So I'm unemployed. I've been unemployed for a pretty significant amount of time. And anyone who's also been trying to get a job in this market knows that it's a very harrowing, horrible experience, and one that can make you want to lose your fucking mind if you're not, careful. And I think that I realized the last couple of months, I've been kind of falling into this pattern of just waking up, applying to jobs, getting rejected from previous jobs, going to sleep, and then doing it over and over again. And I think it really got exacerbated because these last 2 months, I got my first interview of the season, and I was up for this job that I thought was going to absolutely change my life if I got it, and if I got it on the terms that I was expecting it on. So I'd basically been waiting since early August to hear back from this position. And so I found myself in that cycle that I spoke about, and just kind of not really doing anything else. And I sort of realized that my self-esteem was kind of in the toilet. I just kind of felt really shitty about myself, because I was damn, I'm kind of hinging my entire life, how I feel, what I do, based on whether or not I get this job. I was finding it really difficult to make future plans, because I was if I get this job, I'm gonna have to move out of the country. There's just a lot of things that are gonna have to happen, so I don't want to think too far ahead. And I was just finding it hard.
So it's very obvious that plenty of Americans are struggling, because when you can't find a job, which we'll have other videos and other days about the job market, but even keeping your job is seemingly impossible. I mean, people with master's and doctor's degree and plenty of experience are getting denied from Whole Foods. So, getting fired from places like Whole Foods, Walmart, just to, cut prices, cut costs, and increase profit for CEOs. When these people are taking home $100 million, multi-billion-dollar bonuses, and the employees are getting paid basically minimum wage, maybe $3 above it, what do you think people are going to start doing? Do we just accept people to sit there and take it? The truth is, yes, they do. That's what they expect. They expect us to sit there and not talk back, and because that's the system. They want us to struggle, to keep giving them our money while we barely make any. We all saw it through the largest transfer of wealth back in 2020, 2021 during the COVID days, when all the small businesses had to shut down and all the money went up to the top, and they gave us the stimulus checks, and because you were all broke because you lost your job, all the stimulus checks, guess what? We spent it on necessities, and guess where that money went? Right back to the top, and took away all the small jobs. So now you're competing with millions of Americans for the limited amount of jobs that there are, while they pay you lower than ever compared to the cost of living. You have the lowest buying power in recorded history as far as America goes, all because there's no longer competition for these big corporations. Amazon, there's only one Amazon. It's not like there's 1,000 Temu factories in America like there is Amazon, so everything's going to come from Amazon. Everything's going to come from Walmart. Everything's going to come from Cisco. Everything's going to come from the same businesses at the top. So they hire for themselves and pay as low as they can to keep their workers content until AI is finally able to take over, until they can start hiring, foreign workers at a third of salary. Until some of these things go through, they're going to be okay paying Americans barely enough to survive, as long as they can keep making ultra high profits. But with that being said, please make sure to subscribe, keep supporting the channel, and no matter what happens, as long as you're alive, life goes on.